Welcome, everyone, to Southern Virginia University, the Knights Sports Arena for Southern Virginia University Knights men's basketball. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen, and we are ready to bring you all the action of the Southern Virginia University Knights and the Wesley Wolverines. In the first contest here at the Knights Sports Arena today, in the women's contest, it was Southern Virginia knocking off Wesley 82-75. As the women's team was able to go to 2-1 in the conference and pick up their 5th win overall. And here today, Seth, the men's team for Southern Virginia, hoping to pick up a very big home win as well. They do not want to start conference play 0-3.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you got to get that first Capital Conference win. Really important for the rest of the trajectory of your season. I know they feel good and confident about this game. Wesley comes in with a 1-3 record. Their one victory, however, was over Penn State Harrisburg, a 1-point win. That's a game that the Knights lost a week ago. So they're looking to come out strong here, get up early, and keep that lead. Yeah,
Southern Virginia comes in with a record of 0-2 in the conference. Wesley is 1-1 in the conference. The Knights are 3-3 overall, and they had a very tough loss against Marymount earlier this week. In addition, of course, to obviously losing at Penn State Harrisburg last week. And again, they do not want to fall to 0-3 with Mary Washington coming in here on Wednesday. So the Knights are hoping to get some consistent performances today, because some of these players have been all over the place offensively for the Knights. You know, Aaron Rimbaugh had that tremendous game against Shenandoah a few weeks back. He's been trying to get some consistency with his game, as has other players like Alec Johnson.
Yeah, today's game, the key to today's game is going to be limiting your turnovers, clean passes on offense, and then they need someone to get hot from deep. You mentioned, Aaron Rumba has had a couple strong games. We'd love to see Kellen Winslow and Sam Armstrong be able to put down the 3-ball. That'll pay huge dividends in this game, and they're going to need it if they want to get this victory.
You know, perhaps their most consistent player so far this season, and again, we're just a few games in, but I'm thinking maybe perhaps Justin Prisby, the sophomore, number 10. He has not just only had a good offensive performance in most of the 6 games we've had so far, but he's been supplying a lot of the rebounding.
Yeah, it's certainly, I don't know if a surprise is the word, but someone that they've found they can rely on to game in and game out, bring in strong performances, someone that you look to when you need a big play, and he handles the ball well. It'll be important it'll be important handling the ball, getting the entry pass into Cale Thornton, and getting that offense rolling.
And Prisby will be one of the 5 starters today for the Knights, along with Cale Thornton, who will jump center, Alec Johnson, Aaron Rimbaugh, and also Kellen Winslow getting the start. Jumping center for Wesley will be Kalu Babaloa, and the opening tip goes to the Knights. Man-to-man by the Wolverines. Prisby down low, Thornton got free. Good pump fake, blocked and fouled. And then we'll see if this foul goes on Babaloa. It looks like he will be the one who will pick it up. And Cale Thornton will go to the foul line to shoot 2.
That's a great start. That's exactly what we want to see. Get the ball inside, good position, and draw the contact.
Thornton came in averaging just under 12 points a game. And he makes the first foul shot. He had come into the game 3 of 15 from the foul line. So
shoot.
That was a good foul shot there. And he misses the second one. Ball is off Wesley, it looks like. Knocked out of bounds. It looked like...
Oh, they called a foul there on Rumba.
Yeah, they did, because the ball definitely went off the hands of Evan Anderson, but Rumba instead picks up the foul. So each team now are in the opening seconds with a team foul. Knights getting the opening point of the game on a Cale Thornton foul shot. And now the Wolverines will have it. Good tough defense outside against Brian Cameron for the Wolverines. Craven's pass outside is almost into the backcourt. Shot clock's at 7. A missed shot, a foul shot is up and good, though, by the Wolverines. They get the rebound, offensive rebound, stick back to go on top here, 2-1.
The Knights just got lost defensively there. The man was running free under the basket.
Here's Prisby, baseline, triple team. Gave up his dribble, gets it over to Thornton. Cross-court pass stolen away, and unable to save it, going out of bounds, was Evan Anderson, so the ball goes right back to the Knights.
Wesley playing with a lot of intensity so far, a lot of energy. Knights got to match it here and try and get a bucket.
And Wesley, as you mentioned, had that win over Harrisburg. They would like to pick up a road conference win today. Knights desperate to pick up their first conference win of the year. Don't want to fall to 0-3 with Mary Washington coming in here on Wednesday. Rumball with a jump shot outside is no good. Good rebound by Winslow. Underneath the basket, had his shot blocked by Babaloa, and the loose ball picked up by the Wolverines.
It's a great rebound. A lot of contact on that play, but no call.
Cameron gets it over to Babaloa, and then outside the pass comes. Spinning shot. Nope, taken away by the Knights. Instead, Rumball gets the steal from J.W. Lawson. Ahead to Alec Johnson. No look pass to Winslow. Fires the three and hits.
And that's a good sign. We talked in the pregame, Jim. You got to get one of these guys going from deep. Kellen Winslow with a big three-pointer earlier in this game.
And sometimes he gets really a slow start to his three-point shooting, but that time his first three-pointer, his first attempt goes right through to make it 4-2 Knights. Lawson with a hanging shot, no good.
Good
Prisby,
defense there by Prisby.
And Prisby brings it up court, stops. Nice pass to Alec Johnson, and the Knights take a 6-2 lead.
Yep. Great work by Prisby. First on the defensive end, kept his feet going, forced a tough shot, and then on the fast break there, he found Alec Johnson leaking out in front to the basket. Good work there.
Quick timeout taken by the Wolverines. They want to make sure this game doesn't get away from them early here in the first half.
Yeah, and you can see defensively what Wesley's going to try and do. They're going to be in your face. They're not going to give you any space, any open looks. The Knights are going to have to use a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of screens to free up some of those shooters, give them a good shot.
Kellen Winslow, great sign there, though they hit from the right corner his opening three-point attempt of the ball game. Kellen Winslow at times, he can really take over a game with his three-point shooting, at least last year, and he's hoping to repeat that this year. J.W. Lawson, who had some big games for the Wolverines against the Knights last season, will inbound here for the Wesley Wolverines. Craven driving to the basket, underneath the basket, and Alec Johnson almost had the steal but knocks it out of bounds. Okay,
good awareness though, quick hands. That's what you want to see, nothing easy.
Now checking in here for the Wesley Wolverines will be Michael Stefanidis. He's a junior out of Bel Air, Maryland. Clemens with it for the Wolverines. Paul Clemens. Step back jumper by Evan Anderson. He hits with Winslow right in his face to make it 6-4. Two-point lead for the Knights. Referee having a problem, it looks like, maybe? Not sure if the referee got hit at all.
Looks like is he feeling sick? It doesn't look like he's feeling 100%.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know, obviously, Seth, if the referees have been sick and are trying to shake it off. And then the question becomes, are you going to go with two refs? Have you got a backup ready to go?
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I am not the one in charge of cleaning that up right now.
Well, it is the flu season now.
Yep, certainly is.
And you wonder if these teams, how this little break in the action is going to impact things. We've played just over about nearly 2.5 minutes.
We see Paul, the trainer, down there doing the dirty work. We appreciate you, Paul, taking care of this so that we can get this game to keep going.
You know, and you wonder if maybe that referee, I guess that particular referee, was feeling sick and thought he could gut it out.
That would be my guess. Unfortunate that he's feeling that way. It's never fun. And, you know, there's a break in the action, as you mentioned. You know, you hope your guys can stay warm. It might not seem like a huge deal, but, man, when you take these couple-minute breaks, you do. Your legs get tight, and it takes a few minutes to get them up and going again.
17-21 still to go here in this first half. 6-4 is your score. We mentioned score updates. The final again of that Mount Union scoring 70 points today in the Division III football playoffs against Frostburg and winning that game pretty handily. Winning that game, and then we've got Oklahoma over TCU at the end of the third quarter, 41-17 in the Big 12 championship game. So it looks like, even though I guess we're not going to know officially who the Final Four will be till tomorrow, you can pretty much write Oklahoma in there.
Yeah, I can't imagine Oklahoma being out.
In fact, after that, depending on what happens to the other teams, obviously, I would think Oklahoma could well be the number 1 seed.
They could. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Miami and Clemson. We mentioned this is ACC country, so a lot of these fans at the game here today are going to be rushing home to watch that one.
Then it really doesn't matter whether you're 1, 2, 3, or 4, as long as you're 1 through 4.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see if Alabama ends up in the Final Four. Me personally, I really hope they're not.
Yep.
I feel like if you didn't even play for your conference championship, then you shouldn't be able to get in. But
of course, now, well, that's true. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens, basically. And we've got a timeout on the court as they continue to work on things down on the court. So we're going to break away here, take a little timeout from the Knight Sports Arena with the Knights up 6-4 against Wesley. Welcome back to the Night Sports Arena. A little break there, Seth, as we again had an ill referee, and it looks like they've been able to replace that referee. And we'll be ready to go. 17-21 again here left in this first half. We have played just about 2.5 minutes or so, and 6-4 Knights on top. And now we'll see how both teams react to this, 15-minute break.
Yeah, poor referee. Hate to see that. You never want anyone feeling that way. And unfortunate he was sick during the game, but it looks like they fixed everything. And it looks that they're just going to go with 2 referees instead of, we heard maybe they were going to try and summon in a third one. I don't know from where, but it looks like they've opted to just run with
either
the 2.
They could not find a third ref, or it was obviously going to take hours for that referee to get here, and they maybe talked it over with the other referees, and they've agreed to go with 2. And we'll see how that impacts things. Not sure how that would impact things unless you maybe see fewer 3-second calls or perhaps something along that nature.
Yeah, I would imagine you're going to miss some foul calls. You're not going to get as good of a look, but that is what it is. I think both teams understand that, and both teams probably are okay with that.
6-4 is your score. Knights 2-point lead in the ball. Alec Johnson, Rumball with it. Good spin move, shot up and in.
That was a great play by Rumba. That guy is a very, very good athlete. Good to see him getting there early.
Aaron Rumball with the basket to give the Knights a 4-point lead. Down low, Clemens, fadeaway jumper, good. So Paul Clemens hitting that basket to make it 8-6. Rumball down low, Thornton. Had the ball knocked away. And it's still Knights basketball with 21 of the shot clock. Inbounds pass. Prisby's got it. Knocked away from behind. A steal. Stefanidis taking the ball away from Prisby from behind. 8-6 is your score. Stefanidis, 3-pointer. Rims out. Rumball with the rebound. And here comes Aaron Rumball with the Knights on top here, 8-6. Over on the left side, Winslow's got it. He has a 3-pointer so far in this first half. Trying to get it down low to Thornton. Shot clock at 11. Winslow, another 3, up and no good. Good tip over to Thornton, and he puts it down. Good
positioning there by Thornton. You see Wesley's doing a good job. They're trying to deny the ball going into Kale there, number 55. But he found that offensive rebound, and put it back up for the easy 2.
And now let's see, we got a foul call. Looks like Winslow's going to pick it up, trying to fight his way through a pick. That'll be his first, and the Knights' second team foul. Shooting foul. Outside with the ball is Craven. Over to Evan Anderson, driving, shooting, and scoring, and getting fouled, and somehow Evan Anderson able to get that shot to go down. He's got a chance to tie the game from the foul line.
Yeah, that was very impressive finish there. Nice touch on the ball, and really an acrobatic play.
Checking back in for the Wolverines, number 11, Brian Cameron.
Cameron will check back in, replacing Stefanidis for the Wesley Wolverines. For those who weren't with us for the first game of our back-to-back doubleheader, it was Southern Virginia in women's action, beating Wesley 82-75. And the free throw ties this men's contest. That makes it 10-9. 1-point lead right now for the Knights. And Alec Johnson with the basketball in the front court for Southern Virginia. Prisby working his way to the top. Alec Johnson, cross-court pass. Winslow, shot clock at 5. Prisby jumper, good.
Good floater by Prisby. He's one of those players you want to have the ball in his hands as much as possible.
12-9. Southern Virginia now by 3. Lawson passing inside, and Thornton fouls Evan Anderson. He'll go to the foul line to shoot 2.
Fouls against the Knights. Number 15.
Thornton's first foul, but that was the 4th team foul of the Knights.
For the Wolverines, number 3, Evan Anderson.
Looks like McCready is getting ready to check in here for Southern Virginia. And Anderson's first foul shot is no good as Thornton will check out and McCready will check in. And Anderson missed them both. 2 missed foul shots for the Wolverines, and the Knights still lead by 3. Prisby got free on the left side. Shot up, no good. McCready trying to go for the follow was fouled.
Good rebound there by McCready. Took some contact, but bodied him up and put himself in a good spot.
Looks like the Knights have the height and size advantage when they've got McCready and Cale Thornton, either or, out there against this Wolverines team. Knights leading by 3 with the basketball. Rimbaugh with it on the left side to Prisby. Alec Johnson looking inside, got it to Winslow. Prisby got through one defender and scores again. Boy, he is really a tremendous all-around player.
Yeah, Prisby, just his patience with the ball is really paying off for him right now.
Cross-court pass, and Clemens outside top of the key, missing a jump shot, and Prisby with the rebound. And he is fouled.
But yeah, just going back to that last play, Prisby getting the ball in his hands, not forcing a quick pass or a fadeaway jumper, but just takes his time, uses that good footwork, and finds a way into the lane.
Knights lead here 14-9. Backcourt pressure by the Wolverines. Now they drop back defensively. Winslow on the right side to Rimbaugh. Good move by Aaron Rimbaugh, and a floater is no good. And Anderson comes away with the rebound for the Wesley Wolverines. Anderson will fire a 3. No good. Rebound Lawson, blocked by McCready.
Nice tough defense there by McCready as he comes screaming down the floor.
Great pass from Alec Johnson, and how did McCready hang on to that basketball for the layup?
I don't know. He must have some sticky stuff on his fingers because that looked like it was going to get away, but he corralled it in and finished with the layup.
Winslow picks up his second foul outside. 15 foul on the Knights. So Kellen Winslow has a couple of quick fouls here in the first 6.5 minutes of the first half. And we've got a timeout on the court with the score. The Knights lead here, 16-9. We'll break away for this message. Seth Hansen again back here at the Knights Sports Arena, and right now the Knights are on top of Wesley, 16-9, trying to get a doubleheader sweep. The women won the first contest, Southern Virginia over Wesley in the women's contest, 82-75, and the men are hoping to be victorious in the nightcap of this doubleheader. We didn't see too many doubleheader victories last season, obviously, Seth, and hoping to see a lot of them here in 2017-2018.
Yeah, both teams are off to a better start this season than they got off to last season, and the men here this afternoon starting off hot, playing good defense, and on the other end they've been able to sink a few shots. So I know Coach Caputo, he wants them to keep the pedal to the metal here. He doesn't want to let up. Trying to have as big of a lead here as they can get here in the first half.
A lot of stars out there in the opening 6.5 minutes, including Justin Prisby, who's been all over the place. Good defender, good offensive performer, and he hits the glass pretty well. He's just a smart player, too.
Yeah, he definitely has a good feel for the game and sees the court really well, especially when he has the ball in his hands.
Clemens with it on the right side, working on McCready, who gets the steal. Sam Armstrong, who's into the game, brings it up court for the Knights. McCready with some good hands on offense and defense. Johnson driving to the basket. Off to Armstrong. Down low, Prisby. Over to Rumbaugh, and he couldn't hit the three. That was good ball movement, though.
Really was, and you want Rumbaugh to hit that shot, but that's okay. That's a good offensive possession.
Knights still lead here, 16-9. The Wolverines trying to get a basket. They haven't scored in a while. Drive on the right side, no good. Prisby's going to pick up the foul, and Brandon Lewis, a freshman, will go to the foul line.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that call went against them and they called the foul, but those are the kind of shots you can live with. He was kind of off balance and kind of just throwing up a prayer. They're playing good, solid defense right now. It's good to see early in this game. 16
fouls, though, on Southern Virginia, so the Wolverines will be shooting the foul shots one-on-one and that sort of thing the rest of the way home. They haven't had much offense. They might be able to make some headway from the foul line. They got the first foul shot there. Missed that one. Rebound of the Knights. 6-point lead for Southern Virginia, 16-10. Aaron Rumbaugh with it outside. He goes to Armstrong. Shot clock at 11. Armstrong. Now they got to hurry. Armstrong will go to Prisby. Shot clock at 2, and Prisby scores.
Prisby bailed him out there. I guess if the clock's running down, he's the guy you want to have the ball in his hands.
18-10 Knights, and a layup the other way for the Wolverines. George Cook, a junior, scoring to make it 18-12. And now Rumbaugh on a breakout. Aaron all the way, fouled, and he couldn't get the shot to go with the left hand. He was able to almost spin that ball into the basket.
Hey, great look, though. Way to be heads up by Aaron Rumbaugh, knowing he could be able to beat him to the basket. And a great outlet pass. I didn't see who was passing it in. It might have been Armstrong, but great heads-up play there, and now he's shooting 2.
Aaron missing the first shot. He came in averaging 14.6 points a game. Colson Hardy will check in for the Knights. His first appearance. He's a sophomore out of Salt Lake City. Rumbaugh missed them both. 6-point lead for the Knights. And looks like the Wesley player stepped on the end line, I think, which will give the ball back to Southern Virginia. Or do they call a foul? Looks like the Knights will have the basketball. Jaron Anderson. Jaron Anderson is a freshman. He's into the game. Jaron Anderson, a freshman. Didn't see a whole lot of playing time in the first home game, but he's been playing a lot in the last 3 or 4 road games. Right now, the Knights have a 6-point lead. Down low, Alec Johnson backs his way in, shoots and misses. And the rebound of the Wolverines. Clemens pulls it down. All the way goes Cameron, and he scores.
Looked like they called a charge on that one.
They did. Wave off the basket, and the offensive foul goes against the Wolverines. Good defense there by Southern Virginia. Knights on top here by 6 with 11 minutes to go till halftime. Hardy brings it across the timeline, gets out of the double team. Anderson over on the right side. He looks down low. Gives over to Alec Johnson. Now to the left to Prisby, inside to McCready. McCready puts it up and in.
That was a great save by McCready. He fumbled the ball in the initial pass, but he corralled it, and then he went up really strong through the contact and finished with the layup.
And a steal by the Knights. 8-point lead. Ahead the pass comes, and it's knocked away by Wesley, preventing the Prisby layup. Back comes Stefanidis. He goes to the left side. Jumper from outside by the Wolverines, up and good by the freshman Brandon Lewis to make it 20-14 now. Wesley continuing with that man-to-man backcourt pressure. Johnson to Hardy. Passes down low. Pass was telegraphed and stolen away by Evan Anderson. Back comes the Wolverines, down by 6. Anderson passing down low to Clemens. Ball knocked away. Anderson picks it up. Tried to draw some contact. No foul called. And the Knights have the basketball in a 6-point lead. Prisby down low, working on Anderson, and he scores again. Justin Prisby.
They really have a nice tempo and rhythm going on offense right now, the Knights, taking their time, being patient with the ball, and getting really good looks.
22-14, Knights by 8. Clemens will try the three-pointer and hits. 22-17 now. Knights with a 5-point lead. Under the 9-minute mark till halftime. Hardy to Prisby.
I thought Prisby was going to pull up there.
And it'll be Anderson trying the three, and he hits! The freshman with a big three-pointer from the top of the key, 25-17. Knights again by 8.
That was a deep three there. Way to hit that in a clutch situation.
Drive by Stefanidis, and he couldn't score. Pulled down with the rebound is McCready. Knights don't have the numbers. Johnson will stop and set up the offense from outside with an 8-point lead. And now an offensive foul going to be called, I would imagine, on Prisby. He was battling down there with Stefanidis.
Yeah,
That'll be his second, I believe.
depending on who you're talking to, it looks like the ref felt it was a little excessive. It's unfortunate, both battling for position down low, but the ref saw it and made the call.
Knights still have a healthy 8-point lead here with 8:14 to go till halftime. Outside the jumper by Craven is up and no good, and Rumball with the easy rebound. Jump shot outside, hit by the Knights as Anderson scores again.
Maybe Anderson is who they've been looking for. Exactly what they needed as the travel's called, going back to the Knights. We talked about it, we'll mention again, that three-point shooting can be huge for the Knights when they get it going, and Jaron Anderson is stepping up big in this first half.
Anderson, as we mentioned, his last few road contests, getting a lot of playing time, scoring in several games in appreciable minutes, and he's hit a couple of threes here to give the Knights an 11-point lead, 28-17. Anderson driving to the basket, and the pass to Rumball off his fingertips and out of bounds.
Watch out, almost got those cheerleaders down on the baseline, on the sideline.
11-point lead for Southern Virginia, their biggest lead so far. And right now they've got on the floor Spencer Brown, along with Anderson, Hardy. Also out there for the Knights is Canlon and Rumball. 11-point lead, Knights have the basketball. Trying to build a substantial lead for halftime. Brown double team.
Someone's got to be open.
And it is Hardy, and he hits. And we've got a player down, Canlon. Not sure if he took a hit.
It looked like he was holding his throat right now.
Might have got hit in the throat. He's able to come up off the court. And we'll see if he comes out of the game here. Looks like he will be replaced by Alec Johnson. But how about the Knights with 2 Anderson threes and then a Hardy three. And they go from 22-17 to 31-17.
Yeah, just like that. That can make all the difference for them. I think in the games where we've seen them play well, and get those victories. We've seen that three-point shooting come alive, referencing back to Shenandoah in that overtime. Sam Armstrong came alive with 3 threes in overtime. And times where they struggle is when the three's not falling and they're trying to work everything inside.
I don't see earlier we had a Winslow three. Not sure exactly how many threes, but that's 4 right there at least. 31-17, Knights with a 14-point lead. Lawson driving, and he scores. Lawson had big games against Southern Virginia last season, as Wesley won both games last year, but Lawson's athletic play that time got him a 2-pointer, and then the ball goes off a room ball out of bounds. Good defense by the Wesley Wolverines to try to climb back in here, 31-19. Now looks like we've got a timeout on the court, 6:47 to go. Immediate timeout. We'll break away. It's 31-19. Knights on top by 12. Let's break away for this message.
Hi, I'm Richard George. I'm one of the vice presidents here at Southern Virginia University. I'm an Olympian. I was also a member of the United States track and field team in 1975. And I think the same qualities, the same motivation, the same drive that makes world-class athletes also makes good students. In college, I did track and field. It worked perfectly for me and my education because I could achieve goals athletically that were very similar to the types of goals that I had academically. As I look at the opportunities here at Southern Virginia University of participating at the NCAA level and also have an unparalleled academic experience coupled with an environment that is LDS standards, I think that combination is hard to find. I don't think there's a better opportunity anywhere on earth to do that.
Knights have jumped out to a 12-point lead, 6:47 to go to halftime, 31-19. Southern Virginia on top. They had led 22-14. Clemens hit a 3 to make it 22-17, and that's when the Knights reeled off 3 straight three-pointers to go on top by 12.
Yeah, they certainly want to keep that rolling the best they can. And it's good. That should open things up. Cale Thornton's still on the bench here, but it should open things up for those guys down low. They're going to have to be sucked out to try and defend the three-point shot.
Tony Caputo has so many working parts that he goes into maybe a basketball game with a certain idea of how it's going to play out, and then it just kind of ebbs and flows, and that's who plays. Yeah,
exactly. Looks like another foul there. Exactly, though, you see in comparison to last year's team, there's just so much more depth and so much more, not diversity is not the word I'm looking for, but the ability to move, and they just have so many more options than they did the year before.
And needless to say, much like Anderson's 2 3-pointers, you just never know, I guess, at any one particular point of a game, who's going to start, getting on fire.
Exactly.
Lawson, left-hander, misses badly on the foul shot.
He's certainly hearing it from the crowd right now.
He's one of the returning experienced players for Wesley. Had big games against the Knights in both Wesley wins last year. He is a senior, and he missed that one. So the Knights still have a 12-point lead now. They've got the ball with 6:30 on the clock. Colson Hardy, who's got a 3-pointer in his first half. Alec Johnson. Knights work it around the perimeter and work the shot clock. Room ball off to Anderson, and he missed that one. Short. Good tip, though, by McCready over to Rumball, and he can't hit the jump shot. And Wesley comes away with the rebound, almost stolen away by Rumball.
Oh, that was an interesting sequence there.
Jump shot outside by Wesley is no good. Chris Scott missing the 3-point attempt. Back come the Knights. Rumball, nice no-look pass over to McCready. Works his way in off the glass, and he hits it. And a foul called on 0. Paul Clemens, the senior from St. Lucia.
It's great to see McCready playing this way. Last year at times it felt like he might shy away from contact here and there, trying to fade away a little bit. But here today, he's showing his strength down low inside, not avoiding the contact and drawing the foul.
And McCready trying to complete the 3-point play and does to make it 34-19. Knights on top here by 15 big points. Colson Hardy going to be called for a hand check. against Tyrone Craven. That'll send Wesley to the foul line. They've been in the one-on-one for since maybe around the 10 or 11 or 12 minute mark, but they've not been able to really use that to their advantage.
Yeah, we thought that would be a bigger factor in the game up to this point, but it definitely hasn't.
Craven makes it 34-20, the junior from Waldorf, Maryland. Now 34-21 with 5:44 to go till halftime. Anderson looking to get it in. Goes to Rumbaugh. Wesley really spreading out their defense in this man-to-man. Knights trying to look for an open player. Anderson, nice pass to McCready, and he scores, and he's fouled, and another foul is called, this time on number 30, Charles, a sophomore for Wesley, and McCready is dominating inside.
Yeah, that's huge for the Knights as Cale Thornton picked up those 2 quick fouls, so coach sat him down, and McCready stepped up nicely in his absence and making some huge plays for his team.
And McCready misses the foul shot. Ball's tipped out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Anderson, so it's going to be Wesley basketball. Still, the Knights have a big 15-point lead here. And much like the women's team from Wesley, this men's team doesn't seem to have any 1 or 2 players they really want to go to offensively. Pass inside, Charles scores, 36-23.
Yeah, I think the size that the Knights have on defense is really kind of causing some confusion. They're not real sure if they want to keep shooting jumpers, if they should keep trying to go inside. But they haven't been able to find a rhythm here in the first half.
Anderson has got a couple of threes. Alec Johnson will try a 3 and hits. Another 3 for the Knights. And they've got their biggest lead of the game so far, 16 points now, 39-23. Johnson, good defense there to knock the ball out of bounds.
It's a good sign. They've had so many guys hit shots in this opening half. That's good. You want everybody getting their touches, getting some type of ebb and flow so that you have options.
That's at least 5 different three-pointers. Might be missing 1 or 2 for the Knights. There's a steal by the Knights. Picked away by Anderson, and he scores. He was able to steal that ball, maintain his balance, and Anderson scores again to make it 41-23. Knights by 18 big points now. Steal by Alec Johnson. Anderson drives to the baseline, and they're going to call him for a foul apparently against Charles, who hit the deck.
Yeah, that looked like a gift to me. I thought the defender was certainly moving his feet as Anderson went to the hole, but not how the refs saw it. But you see on offense, Wesley, they're trying to get something going. They're trying to get that backdoor baseline cut. But Alec Johnson, he's done a good job. He's seen it, and he's anticipating that pass, which led to the steal the last time down.
Knights on top here, 41-23. 18-point lead. Closing in on the 4-minute mark. Stefanidis has it outside to Clemens. For the Wolverines, he'll try the long jumper and miss. Rebound is knocked out of bounds, and Knights basketball.
And Jim, because they've just gotten into such a groove offensively and even defensively, they're running real well. It's given Coach the opportunity to have Cale Thornton on the bench. Not that Cale Thornton's happy about that, but Coach doesn't want him to get in foul trouble, and it's opened this up for him to let him sit, get the rest, and probably come back not till the second half.
Yeah, and these guys know that, maybe the next game is going to be McCready in foul trouble, and Cale Thornton will be the one stepping it up as Rumbaugh goes baseline, and another charge is called on the Knights. Offensive foul on Rumbaugh. Lower the shoulder, I guess, is what they're going to say. Still the Knights, despite the fouls, and they've had a few here in the first half. They've got an 18-point lead, though, with 3:32 to go till halftime.
You know, Jim, again, that's a call that could go either way. I thought, maybe it was a little physical, but that kind of foul really sends a message to Wesley, that we're here to play, we're going to play intense, and we're going to be physical. And that young man's going to be thinking twice before he takes on a charge from Rumba again. Jump shot outside by Wesley is good by Brandon Lewis, a freshman from Fort Myers, Florida, make it 41-25. Alec Johnson brings it up court in a hurry. Three-pointer up and good again, this time by Winslow. That's his second of the game. 44-25. Well, I have to wait for the halftime score sheet, but that's got to be 6 or 7 three-pointers by the Knights here in this first half. Oh, yeah, and that's been huge. It's been all the difference here today. Clemens hitting on the other end for Wesley to make it 44-27. Armstrong, he'd like to get into the three-point act. That's worked the clock a little bit. Sam with the shot clock at 10. Winslow, baseline. Hardy, shot clock at 5. Hardy, not sure if he was going to take a shot there or try to pass it over to Sam Armstrong, but Wesley comes back with the basketball, and Cameron scores. 44-29. Wolverines are trying to get a little closer before halftime. Knights would love to have that lead back up around 20 by halftime. And McCready wide open, scores inside. There's just nothing that Wesley can do when McCready gets the ball down that low. They don't have anybody who can match him size-wise. McCready, of course, 6'10". He was being guarded by Clemens, who's only 6'4". Cameron, outside jumper, no good. Rebound by Clemens. He couldn't get the shot to go, and over the back, it'll be Cameron. Brian Cameron picking up the foul. The sophomore over the back. He'll pick up the foul for the Wesley Wolverines. The Knights have done a good job here, too. We see Wesley's going with that full court press. The press hasn't really caused an issue for them. They're still getting clean passes and running their offense down on the other end with plenty of time on the shot clock. Just a really complete game so far by the Southern Virginia University Knights. Good to see number 30, Bennett Canlin, check back in. Of course, he got hit in the throat, it looked like 5 or 10 minutes ago and went out, but now back into the game. McCready having a big first half. 47-29. Essentially, their offense, Seth, has been three-point shooting and Tyler McCready. Yeah, McCready has done definitely his share down low in the post, and Wesley doesn't really have an answer for him. And he hits both foul shots. 48-29, Knights by 19 points. .90 seconds to go till halftime. Good defense there by McCready to alter that shot. Evan Anderson working on Alec Johnson. And we got a foul, offensive foul, I believe, on Anderson, shoving off Alec Johnson to get free for that shot. Yeah, that looked like the right call to me. Johnson was in good position, had his feet set, but nice little shove by Anderson there, trying to get the separation. 48-29. This last minute could be crucial. I'm sure Wesley would like to try to get that lead down to 15. Knights would like to take it up around 20 or 22. Canlin on the right side. Armstrong wanted that pass. I think he wanted to fire the three from the top of the key. McCready to Alec Johnson. Shot clock at 3. Johnson will try the 3. It's no good, and the rebound comes off to Wesley. Stefanidis tripped by Alec Johnson, and a blocking foul on Johnson. Yeah, this is a really difficult spot for the refs. we've seen obviously what happened earlier in the half with the third official who was sick. They're down a man, so the refs are doing the best they can. They don't always have the best angle on things right now. It was a call that looked like could have gone either way, but it's in Wesley's favor now.
And Stefanidis will go to the foul line. And he makes it a 48-30 game with 40.6 on the clock. Jerron Anderson checking back in for the Knights. So you got Anderson out there along with Johnson, Hardy, McCready, and Sam Armstrong. Rebound to Anderson. Triple team by Wesley. They work it over to Anderson on the right side. He goes baseline, trying to draw the contact. Instead, he draws another offensive foul. It's about the only thing the Knights have done wrong in this first half is maybe draw too many offensive fouls driving to the basket.
Yeah. Wesley's done a good job, though. I mean, regardless of, if every one of those should have been a charge, but Wesley's done good in taking the contact and setting their feet. The Knights just got to play around that. They got to play through that adversity. They still have a large lead here.
Knights, 18-point lead, 27 seconds to go. See if the Wolverines play for the last shot or they try to maybe somehow get 2 offensive possessions out of this. Foul called inside. Going to go against the Knights. Anderson will pick it up. That's his third already.
Shooting for the Wolverines, number 3, Evan Anderson.
And now if you're the Knights and these 2 free throws go down, Seth, you got to make sure that you keep the ball for the last 17 seconds.
Yeah,
unless, of course, you get an easy layup.
Yeah, definitely. You want to, as he makes the first here, definitely don't give the ball back. You're happy if the worst case scenario is you're up 16. I mean, you've got to be pretty happy with that. So no sloppy passes on the inbound or on the rebound here.
48-31, just 17 seconds to go until halftime. And missing, rebound McCready. Knights have a 17-point lead. Let's see if they can get the last shot of the half and try to hike this lead a little bit. Johnson, double team, off to Hardy. They got to hurry here, 5 seconds to go. Johnson dribbling off to Hardy, jump shot on the way, and it's no good. Still a good, healthy lead of 17 points for Southern Virginia, Seth, at halftime, 48-31.
Yeah, I mean, it really was an excellent first half for the Knights, really complete on both ends. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but offensively it went about as well as you could hope for.
And we'll have to wait for the numbers, but again, as far as the Knights are concerned, Tyler McCready inside had a big game, and we'll have to wait for the numbers. But it looks like the Knights have had, 6 or 7 three-pointers, and they've really spread it around. I think Kellen Winslow, by my count, is the only one who's got more than one.
Yeah, I think Jaron Anderson might have another. He might have a couple.
Yeah, Jaron's got 2. That's right.
But really good just to see them hit that 3 ball, not have to rely on McCready, though he's played really well. And I'm sure you're going to see a heavy dose of Cale Thornton here in the second half.
Yeah, so Jerron Anderson's got 2 threes. Kellen Winslow's got a couple of threes. I know Hardy hit 1. Knights really spreading it around with those 3-pointers in the first half. And as you talked about really throughout the first half, Tyler McCready, Seth, there, Wesley just simply had no defensive answer for him.
No, they don't have anyone who matches up very well with McCready. And so when he positions himself down low, if you don't have 2 bodies on him, he really is at an advantage. And the Knights know that, and they're trying to exploit it the best they can right now. So, and Cale Thornton, the same thing. Once they get him in there, it's going to be the same type of thing unless Wesley comes up with some answers.
Knights on top here, 48-31 at halftime. We'll take a little break here from the Knights Sports Arena. Back, everyone, to the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen, bringing you all the action today of Knights basketball. For those who are with us for the first game of our doubleheader today, Southern Virginia women beat Wesley 82-75 here at halftime. The men's team for Southern Virginia on top 48-31 over the Wesley Wolverines. And you look at the stat sheet, Seth, and really a couple things stand out. Tyler McCready, 13 points, 5 of 5 shooting, 3 of 4 from the foul line. Knights also 6 of 12 from three-point range. Kellen Winslow had 2 3-pointers. Jerron Anderson had 2 3-pointers, and Colson Hardy and Alec Johnson had the other 2 3-pointers.
Yeah, great scoring performances, really well balanced across the board on the offense. Another unsung hero. Aaron Rumbaugh is only with 2 points today, but he's got 7 rebounds in that first half, along with 2 assists and 2 steals. So certainly getting it done, everybody is. It's really been an unselfish effort by the team, and they just need to take care of business in the second half if they want to get the victory. Yeah,
Justin Prisby in 12 minutes, he was 4 or 5 from the field, 8 points. Knights had 9 turnovers and 10 turnovers in the first half for Wesley, as the Knights were able to out-rebound Wesley 16-11.
Yeah, that's huge, and that the size advantage they have is just pretty obvious. As it looks like you're going to see Cale Thornton, who only played about 3 or 4 minutes in that first half, got into early foul trouble, but you're going to see him come out, and I imagine it'll be the same type of thing. Look for him to get the ball early and often.
Starting 5 here in the second half of the Knights will be Thornton, Prisby, Winslow, Rumbaugh, and also Alec Johnson. Don't forget to be with us for Knights men's basketball on Wednesday. We will have the Southern Virginia Mary Washington game for you Wednesday following the women's contest. And right now the Knights are hoping to pick up their first Capital Conference win of the season, trying to go to 1-2 in the conference and avoid that 0-3 start in the conference.
These first few minutes are going to be critical here. If they want to shut Wesley down and crush any hope they might have, you got to play tough defense. Don't let them get early shots, because if they start getting into a rhythm, they're going to start believing they can come back from this 17-point deficit.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to have happen is Wesley hit that three-pointer by Cameron, and you don't want to have them go on a run to try to get it into single digits. You really would like to have a run like that yourself for Southern Virginia and really put this thing away in the opening minutes of the second half.
Exactly. You don't want to give them any wiggle room, any chance or hope to believe that they can come back. You've got to put the nail in the coffin.
Prisby, turnaround jumper, and he hits, and he's got 10. Prisby 5 of 6 from the field now. The Knights lead 50-34. Anderson for Wesley missing everything, and Johnson with the rebound.
Really good defense.
Nice
by
pass
Winslow
to Cale Thornton, and he had the ball knocked away. Another good pass, though, on the fast break by Alec Johnson. Johnson will inbound. Rumbaugh, jumper, left side, hits. And Rumbaugh has his 4th point of the game. Cameron will try another three-pointer. It's up and no good. Thornton with the rebound. Knights lead by 18. And it was a good response they've had, a little 4-0 run to that three-pointer made by the Wolverines.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're in complete control of this game. Just relax, play easy, just run the offense, make good passes, and just like you did in the first half, and everything should work out for you. And look at Wesley doing what Coach Caputo did earlier in this year, subbing out 5 guys, trying to get a whole new team in there.
We saw that, of course, for the Knights in their opener against Shenandoah. Haven't seen it since. Pass down low to Thornton, and he scores.
Nice finish. The interesting thing about that sub, if anything else, it even shortened the height of Wesley's overall average out there, probably giving even more opportunity to Thornton going forward.
54-34, 20-point lead for the Knights. Wolverines throw it away, but it was last touched by the Knights, so shot clock at 12 for Wesley. He will take this shot for the Wolverines with the shot clock down to 6. And a foul is going to be called. Nope.
Travel.
Travel is the call on Wesley. Knights have a real good chance here set to put this away in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, they certainly do, and it just everything they're doing right now seems to be working. Coach Caputo has a great game plan going for him right now.
Rumbaugh is called for a travel. Although it looked to me like he was dribbling the whole time, even though it was kind of an awkward step he had.
Yeah, it was a little close there.
54-34, 20-point lead for Southern Virginia.
Thought Winslow had the steal there.
Wolverines missed the outside jumper, but grabbed the rebound. That was Terrence Braxton getting the rebound. Over to Charles. And Thornton is going to pick up, I believe, his third foul. Let's see if Kale comes out. That's his third foul. McCready had such a great first half. We'll see if they make a change here, and looks like that's going to be the case. But before we have the substitution, Wesley will try to get on the scoreboard here. They had a three-pointer to begin the second half and nothing since. Shot clock for Wesley is down to 6. Long three-pointer up and good. Stefanidis hitting that one. Johnson almost lost the ball. Got it over to Rumbaugh. Knights in no hurry with that big 17-point lead. Shot clock at 6 for Southern Virginia, and Johnson will throw it up. No good. And it'll be Wesley basketball as McCready will check in now for Cale Thornton.
Substitution for the Knights. Checking in number 44, Tyler McCready. And also number 3.
Colson Hardy also in for Alec Johnson. Charles along the baseline. Jump shot outside by Wesley's an air ball. Scramble for the loose ball. McCready picks it up.
Oh,
McCready putting Stefanidis down.
Physical play, but
Winslow hits the three.
And for those of you at home who, I don't know if you saw that, but it was a completely legal play by McCready. He just sat there, and the Wesley, number 20, he never saw it coming. But that's a good basketball play by McCready.
And you got to credit Stefanidis from getting up from that. The jump shot no good. Another rebound for McCready. He is dominating today. Nice pass. And Rumbaugh one-handed off the pass from Prisby.
That was impressive. That was an impressive athletic play by Aaron Rumbaugh.
The ability to grab it with one hand and then hold it and then push it back up. Knights basketball with 15:23 to go. Knights on top here by 22, 59-37. Rumbaugh almost lost it. Gets it over to Hardy. Up court. Pass going to be knocked away and stolen away by Wesley. Wolverines on a break. Charles all the way. Right there for the defense was Hardy. He picks up the charge, and Charles slamming the ball afterwards to give him a technical. Couldn't see.
And again, I mean, I understand why the player might be upset, except for he was standing there a second or two before he even went up for the shot. Hardy had set his feet, was a great defensive position, so it was pretty obvious to me that was a charge.
Technical foul was called, so Hardy will go to the foul line for the Knights. Still 15 minutes to go here, Seth, but 22-point lead. Doesn't look like Wesley's going to be able to make any comeback.
No, we hope so. Hope they just keep playing their game.
Hardy misses the first one.
But everything Southern Virginia has tried to do here, it's worked in the first half and now in the second. Playing with a lot of heart and a lot of passion. So as long as they keep that tempo up, they should be in good shape.
Knights have outscored Wesley in the second half so far, 12-6 now. They led by 17 at halftime, and right now the lead is 23 for the Knights. Knights getting it into Prisby. He is triple teamed. Knights break it ahead. And Hardy will go over to the left side. They go to Winslow. Shot clock at 10. Room ball, baseline, jumper, up, no good. Stefanidis had the ball knocked away by Hardy, picked up by Wolverine, missing the shot. Battle for the rebound and pulled away by Rumbaugh. And now we've got some physical play along the sidelines, right in front of the Wesley bench. The referees got in there very quickly to make sure that things didn't escalate.
I didn't see what happened there. It looked like they just got tangled up, but the ref must have felt like Winslow purposely made some contact with the Wesley defender, or player, I should say.
And Winslow picks up the foul. That's his third. Looks like Armstrong is going to be checking in. The referees, Seth, look like they're talking over to see if there's anything else might be called.
Yeah, interesting. The refs, good work by the refs to keep everybody separated and try to keep everyone calm. Feels like shades of last year's Penn State-Harrisburg matchup that happened here in the Knight Arena. Certainly don't want to see anything like that happen again. Yeah,
this one might be more score-related. I mean, we've had some physical play, but nothing really major in this game up until today, up until the 14:35 mark.
Yep.
Just trying to see if, besides a personal foul maybe against Winslow, if there's anything else. Armstrong's going to check in, it looks like, for the Knights.
Interesting, they're leaving.
Stefanidis is out there. Looks like they must have called a technical of some nature.
Yeah, I think they called the technical on Winslow. And then now I'm wondering if coach is going to leave Winslow out there, if they're going to sub in Sam Armstrong.
Looks like Armstrong's going to replace him.
Yep.
So it's 60-39 now. Still a big 21-point lead here for the Knights. Wesley, after those two foul shots, with the basketball. Foul is going to be called on the Wolverines, it looks like, on the inbounds pass.
It's certainly getting chippy out here, Jim.
That would be the concern, that especially if the score continues to mount, that frustration boils over, Seth, and we see more of this. We still have over 14 minutes to go. You don't want to see it today. You don't want to see something that might carry over to the road trip to Wesley, I would imagine, in January or February.
Yeah, no, you just hope these two teams focus on basketball. Don't make it personal. Just play the best game you can each side and play it clean.
Pass down low, knocked away by Wolverines. Knights will visit Wesley on Saturday, January the 20th. Jump shot outside by the Wolverines, up and good by the junior, George Cook, 60-41. Wolverines pressuring the basketball. They get the steal, Driving to the basket, shot up, no good by the Wolverines. Rumbaugh trying to grab the rebound, hits the floor. Foul called on Wesley.
Good strong rebound by Rumbaugh there to go up in the middle of all those defenders and rip that ball away.
And we've got a timeout on the court. 13:53 to go. Your score, Southern Virginia 60 and Wesley 41. We'll take this break from the Knight Sports Arena.
I'm Michael Gibbons. I've been here since 2003. I am currently the Dean of Students and Vice President of Student Life. I'm new in that role, but I've been at the school for some time. You know, being in a small community, I like the fact that I can ride my motorcycle. I'm not scared to get out on the roads here. It's a safe, fun little community. I think the main reason students need to consider SVU is the unique education that we offer as a whole individual. We do the academic thing really well, but there's also social growth and spiritual growth and emotional growth. As a parent, I had 4 children who have attended here. I wouldn't pick any other school for my children over SVU.
Welcome back, 60-41. Knights on top here, 13:53 to go. And always good to see the Spirit Squad entertain the fans. And a good crowd here on this Saturday at Southern Virginia University for men's and women's basketball.
Yeah, Spirit Squad doing a great job today. Shout out to my lovely wife who assists in the cheer team coaching. They really bring in the energy, as you mentioned. A lot of Southern Virginia students out here today. And for a great day of basketball, the women got the victory, and the men looking to do the same here right now.
The women beating Wesley earlier in the first game today, 82-75. And right now, the men's team, which led by 17 at halftime, on top here 19 points, 60-41 with 13:53 to go in the second half. Pressure by Wesley. They're really trying to find as many turnovers as they can possibly get. And Stefanidis runs into Hardy and picks up the foul. And I get the feeling that a lot of these teams, especially the Knights, in the second half here in about 3 or 4 minutes, they'll be shooting a lot of foul shots down the stretch. That's already the 5th team foul on Wesley.
Yeah, that's what it feels like for sure.
And you can understand the Wolverines. They're down by 19. They've got nothing to lose by fouling, trying to get a steal. There's another foul. This one's going to go at Sam Armstrong, trying to push off Stefanidis. So that's the 3rd team foul on Southern Virginia.
It's key for Southern Virginia not to get sucked into this little cheapy hand-checking type of thing that's going on right now. You just got to play your game, let the refs sort it out.
And you can see, Seth, that the refs are going to call it really close. They want to make sure nothing gets out of hand.
Exactly, and you don't want to get sucked into that. Wesley's going to get called for it every time. Don't make it personal. Make it about basketball.
60-41 right now. The Knights on top by 19 points. Three-pointer outside by Wesley is good by Stefanidis. Knights being led in scoring by McCready with 13, 10 for Prisby. They really balanced their scoring today. 60-44, the lead's down to 16. Knights can't afford any turnovers here. Wesley really stepping up the defensive pressure, trying to force Southern Virginia turnovers. That's their only way back into the game right now, down by 16 points. Shot clock at 9. Knights need a big jumper here. Hardy, room ball, foul line to Hardy for a 3. No good.
Just in and out.
And Stefanidis will try a 3. Up and no good. Big rebound there by Tyler McCready. Fast break to Armstrong. Sam doesn't really have the numbers. He'll pull it up. Room ball trying to get a pass. And they're going to call him for a foul. That's his 4th team foul. And Aaron's 2nd foul.
I'm wondering when Coach will put Prisby back out there. He's got 2 personal fouls, but he's such a staple in the offense in running the ball.
Really seems to settle the team down, too.
Exactly. He's kind of that calming presence. They look a little scrambled without him on the floor at the moment. 16-point
lead for the Knights. Wolverines trying to get a basket, but there's a steal by Johnson. Great pass to Hardy. Hardy is bumped. That was a pretty nasty foul by Brandon Lewis, their freshman. Open court.
Wow, that was a very physical foul. I'm surprised.
That must have reminded some of the hits you took in football this
Oh my
fall.
goodness, yeah, for real, that's definitely true. Good. I'm glad to see that there was no extra activity after that foul. That's
And
what
when
I'm
you're up
trying
by
to say.
16, there's really no need to respond to something like that.
Yeah, it's easy though to let your emotions take over. You see one of your teammates get hit like that. Not that, I don't think that the Wesley player was trying to hurt anybody or anything, but just playing aggressive and hard basketball. And good job for both teams to just keep their emotions down and not make that anything more.
Yeah, right now the Knights, they can hit foul shots down the stretch, down the last 12 minutes, and avoid those turnovers, and there's no way Wesley can make the comeback. They're down by 16. And now that's the 16th foul on Wesley, so the Knights will be shooting foul shots the rest of the way home. Deron Anderson is into the game now. Pass, there's a turnover, stolen away by the Wolverines. And stolen right back by Hardy. 5-on-1, Southern Virginia. Hardy to Anderson, he scores. (62-44), Knights by 18 points. Cook on a drive to the basket. And we're going to have a call go against the Wolverines.
Looks like a walk as he's driving in to make that pass. Good work here by the Knights. They've got to clean it up a little bit on offense. Had a few sloppy passes, but just calm down, run your system, and be sure on your passes.
And needless to say, you look for openings, but you really would like to run a little clock every time down, if not to run the game clock a little bit, but also to kind of just, settle this game down a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. The faster this game is, the higher the tempo and the physicality, that's only going to go in Wesley's favor. So as you mentioned, Jim, if you can just slow it down, that's going to shorten the game for Wesley and not give him any hope into making a comeback.
Yeah, even an up-tempo game where you're getting easy layups, that's the kind where things physically really get out of hand.
Exactly. Yeah, just take your time, run your half-court offense, and make clean passes.
And McCready hits the foul shot.
Checking in for the Wolverines, number 0, Paul Clemens.
McCready came in 7 of 13 from the foul line, but he's looked good from the foul line tonight.
Yeah, he really has. He's got a nice stroke going, and he had that impressive first half, so he's definitely feeling it now at this point in the game.
One more shot coming here from McCready with 11:34 to go. Missed that one. Rebound taken away by the Wolverines. Stefanidis hits the three. He's had some big three-pointers in the second half for the Wolverines. And a travel is going to be called on Anderson. Deron Anderson walking with the ball. So now the Wolverines have gotten to within 16 points. Just want to keep this lead up over 14. You don't want them to get to single digits. And for that to happen, probably the Wolverines are going to really start to have to hit these three-pointers. Cook on a drive. Couldn't get the alley-oop shot to go. And the rebound to Spencer Brown for the Knights. Anderson gets the pass from Johnson and scores.
Good look. Way to find him down court. He was sitting right under the basket all by himself. That's an easy bucket for the Knights.
65-47. The Knights immediately crank that lead back up to 18. Lost ball picked up by the Wolverines. Stefanidis, he's been their big offensive performer, especially in the second half. 65-49. Anderson will take that three. It hits!
Wow, that's a big shot by him right there. Love to see him keep at it, keep firing and not hesitating.
That's his third three-pointer today. And the Knights jump that lead now to 19 points. Cook with the jumper up and no good. Rebound Spencer Brown. He's the freshman from Shelby, Michigan. Anderson driving, gets it over to McCready. He scores inside, 70-49. Knights by 21. Foul going to be called inside. Looks like maybe against McCready. Winslow will check back in for the Knights, replacing Alec Johnson.
Still haven't seen Prisby. He looks okay, doesn't look hurt or anything. Coach must just be trying to rest his legs with the game so far ahead right now.
And Thornton checks in for McCready, and here comes Rumbaugh into the game for Spencer Brown. .1 lead for the Knights. 9:38 to go in the second half. Anderson jump shot, no good. Rebound, Jerron Anderson. And a foul on the Wolverines, and Anderson will go the other way to shoot some foul shots after the foul on the freshman Blaine for the Wesley Wolverines. 1-1 coming up here for Jerron Anderson.
I'll tell you what, he's had a real strong game today. Anderson with his scoring and good hustle play. If he can keep this up going forward through the season, the Knights could surprise some teams in the Capital Athletic Conference.
And the Knights extend that lead further with 9:30 to go in the ball game. Pass knocked away. Cale Thornton with the steal. Knights by 23. Colson Hardy with the ball. He's got a three-pointer today. Off to Winslow, who's got 2 threes. Knights working the clock also. Whenever possible, each time down. Winslow, baseline. Outside to Hardy. Shot clock at 4. Rumbaugh will fire it up, and he hits.
Jeez. Man, that's awesome. That's great to see. And not surprised at all. Aaron Rumbaugh's that kind of player, can hit those kind of shots, but just great to see here late in the second half.
Knights by 26, and Wesley loses the ball out of bounds. Biggest lead so far here for Southern Virginia, 26 points with 8:41 to go. Aaron Anderson inbounding. Wesley keeps pressuring the ball, but the Knights have done a pretty good job overall avoiding turnovers. And now they're just working on the clock, trying to pick up their first conference home win of the year. Anderson a 3. Got it!
That kid is lights out right now. He's not backing down, not flinching from anything. He's been a huge factor in this game.
That might actually, if it hadn't already been sealed, it might have sealed the deal here for the Knights, who now lead by 29 points. Another rebound for Anderson. Ahead to Winslow, back to Anderson. He was thinking about the 3.
He's going to go heat check there.
Well, yeah, you know, with these guys, when you can start to feel it, you'll pop it, and it goes. Oh, it rolled off. Thornton with the rebound, up and in.
I thought he had it, though. It looked like it was going to drop. But he certainly had confidence in that shot. But good work by Thornton to not give up on it and find the rebound.
Timeout for the Wolverines. 7:40 to go. The Knights on top here, 80-49. Let's take this break from the Knights Sports Arena.
My name is Bailey Rusick. I'm a sophomore here at Southern Virginia University, and I'm from Highland, Utah. Currently, I'm the activity senator, and I'm also on the golf team. This season is only a couple weeks in, and it's going great. We have a lot of potential, and we could go really far. I would recommend everything about SVU. I love the fact that I know all my professors personally, and that they know who I am, and they know my goals, my desires, and they're here to help me achieve that. You come to love this campus and appreciate it and feel like this energy that comes from it, and then you go home for a little bit and you just want to be back. Anyone who's considering to come out to SVU, just do it, because the opportunities here are amazing. I think that's what matters most.
Well, Seth, the Knights are on a real serious run over the last 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, Wesley had been trying to claw back from a 17-point halftime deficit for the better part of this second half, and they got the lead down to, I think, 14 or 16, and suddenly the Knights have blown that lead all the way up to, well, let's see, 31 points now, biggest lead so far.
Yeah, and this is certainly the best game we've seen them play all season, and maybe in the last 2 seasons, all of last year. They're doing it on both ends. Their shooting is phenomenal. And after a tough loss against Marymount, it's good to see him respond this way and play so well.
Yeah, the Knights lost at Marymount 58-55. Actually had a tough loss at Harrisburg, 74-68. So they came in 0-2 in the conference, but easily could have been maybe 2 wins. The Knights actually had the lead in the second half against Marymount on Wednesday. So if they'll be able to improve to 1-2 in the conference, which makes that game coming up on Wednesday against Mary Washington that much bigger. Hardy with it outside. Knights just working on the clock. Steal, and a foul going to be called on Hardy after he had the ball taken away by Craven. 16 foul on Southern Virginia.
Against the Knights, number 3, Colson Hardy. 16 foul. Checking in for the Red Rays, number 5.
Hardy with his second foul.
And number 20, Michael Stephanides.
Knights by 31 points. 7:20 to go here in the second half. Evan Anderson drives against Cale Thornton, and a tip up and in by Clemens to make it 80-51. Wesley continues with that backcourt pressure. Anderson up the right side. Good decision to stop and work the clock a little bit. Down low. Thornton had the ball taken away. And the Wolverines will come up court with it. Shot rejected out of bounds by Cale Thornton.
Oh. Wow, that was a quick technical there by the referee.
After the block, obviously, Cale gave a little look, and the referees, I guess you could understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure this thing doesn't get out of hand. So Stephanides will shoot the technical foul shot. And looks like McCready's going to check in. And we'll keep it right here with 6:41 to go. Knights on top here, 80-51. And hey, credit these referees too. They've had to do with the shuffling. In the opening 2 minutes of the game, we had a referee get sick. And they've also done a great job, I think, Seth, really making sure this one doesn't get physically out of hand.
Yeah, it's a tough thing as a referee because you want to let them play, but you also have to know that you can really control the tempo and the attitude of the game. And I agree with you. They've definitely dealt with a lot today, and they've done really well. And I can't complain. The Knights are ahead by a lot right now, and everything seems to be going in their favor.
And you really don't want to upset the other team too much because, as we talked about, these two teams will meet at Wesley on January the 20th.
Yeah, that's true. It's always an adventure when you get to see the same team twice in one season. I'm sure Wesley, regardless of how this finishes, they're not going to forget what's gone on here today, and they're going to be ready to
yeah, it might be 6 weeks away, but I would imagine, if nothing else, the coaches can pull out some film and go, remember this?
Yeah, exactly. And that definitely plays into a factor. If you've never been a part of something like that, I can testify that certainly plays a factor.
You know, Justin Prisby will also be checking in here, looks like, for the Knights, but Stephanides will be shooting 2 technical foul shots first. Cale Thornton picking up his 4th foul. He was replaced by McCready. You know, Stephanides, who took a real shot from McCready coming up court on a pick, he's played a pretty good second half.
Yeah, he's probably been their best scorer, most consistent scorer.
Stefanidis came into the game averaging just over 6 points a game. So Prisby and Alec Johnson will check in and replacing Hardy. And it looks like Anderson will check out for the Knights. .27 lead for Southern Virginia. 6:38 to go. Clemens misses. Rebound, Prisby. Hasn't played in quite some time. Pulled down the rebound, though. Prisby down low, passes picked away by the Wolverines. Stefanidis all the way against Prisby, misses the shot. Roomball picks up the rebound. He got pushed twice by Clemens from behind. Didn't call that first shove in the back, but then they caught him the second time around.
Again, good, strong rebound there by Aaron Rumba, just doing all the dirty work for his team.
And it takes a lot, it looks like, for Aaron to get he's totally unflappable.
Yeah, he's tough, he's reliable. You need those kind of players on your team.
Makes the first one. 81-53, Knights by 28, their biggest lead, I believe, in this game has been 31. And now the lead is 29. Got a feeling Tony Caputo wouldn't be sad to see this last 5.5 minutes run very quickly. Supposed to make sure there's no further incidents, and his team will coast to this victory.
No further incidents and no injuries. It's obvious this game is pretty out of hand. He just wants everyone to be healthy so that he has a full squad going into Wednesday's matchup.
McCready scores, foul, and he'll get a chance at a three-point play. Great pass by Prisby. Well, now suddenly the Knights may be thinking of hitting the century mark.
Yeah. I got to imagine, Jim. I don't have it in front of me, but I imagine if the score holds similar to this could be the biggest Capital Conference win SVU's ever had.
Brandon Caputo will check in for the Knights, replacing Winslow. McCready misses the foul shot. Lead stays at 31. Rebound picked away by the Knights. Bodies hit the floor. Rim ball down again. Prisby, great pass over to McCready. Couldn't get the shot to go. And a foul called. McCready looks like he'd go to the foul line. And good news, too. Aaron Rimbaugh able to come up from the floor from that collision and stay in the game.
Yeah, it looked like that was a sweet, fast break. It just looked like maybe one too many passes there, trying to get it to McCready, but it worked out in the end with these foul shots.
This is the first one.
Also checking in for Wolverines, number 32, Terrence Braxton.
Good chance, Seth, with this big lead for Tony Caputo to play everybody today and get everybody a lot of minutes, too.
Yeah, which is so important. I'm sure that's something he's looking forward to. Probably inside the 3-minute mark or so, you'll start seeing some of those guys come in. And you already have with Brandon Caputo taking some minutes.
32-point lead right now for the Knights. Knights will try to build upon this victory on Wednesday, hosting Mary Washington. And we'll have that one for you after the women's game is finished, as Wesley pulls to within 30 now with that basket. That's really working the clock now, trying to take as much of the clock down to the shot clock all the way down to 0 before they fire. And rim ball. 10-footer, rims out. Up court in a hurry come the Wolverines.
Looks like Jaron Anderson's going to come back into the game here.
Rebound Caputo after the missed shot by the Wolverines. And Brandon will go ahead and slow it down for Southern Virginia. Frisbee hits the floor. Gets right back up. Shot clock now at 8. And Johnson will take the jumper and miss. Frisbee with a tip in.
Wow. I'm not sure how he managed that, but he got the tip to go.
He doesn't play like he is just 6'3".
No, he certainly plays bigger than that. But he's athletic. Much more athletic than people give him credit for, I think. And
Frisbee fouling that time. Wesley will go to the foul line to shoot some foul shots with 3:33 to go, and the Knights on top here. And substitutions for the Knights now. Spencer Brown checks back in along with Bennett Canlin. Jaron Anderson is also back in there, joining Caputo. And Kashawn Cottle also into the game for the first time. SEC championship game, Georgia-Auburn all even at 7. They expected that one to be tight, I guess, Seth, and wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to the closing minutes or maybe even overtime.
Yeah, definitely, and both those teams play such strong physical defense. I'm not surprised it's only 7-7 getting late in the second quarter there.
You know, I know we don't have the playoffs starting until the Final Four on January the 1st, but you can essentially describe that Georgia-Auburn game as a playoff game.
Yeah, definitely. Both those teams deserve it too.
Yeah, and one team, the winner will know they're going to be in, and the loser obviously knows they're not going to be in.
Yep.
Knights lead here by 29 points with 3:23 to go. Anderson picking up his 4th foul. I'm sure Tony Caputo is telling all his players, well, let's not foul, let's not stop the clock, let's not send them to the foul line. Like a lane violation maybe called against the Knights. Derek Charles fires and hits off the glass. It was a 1-on-1. After the lane violation, he got a retry, and now he'll try the second shot. .3:15 on the clock, and the Knights lead here 87-59. Southern Virginia won the women's game 82-75 over Wesley. Great season so far for the Knights. The women's team, they picked up their 5th win of the year as well as their 2nd conference win. They've already surpassed last year's victories as Anderson travels with the basketball here in early December.
Yeah, great start for both programs. It's obvious to see the progress and yeah, just the strides they've made from last year. Both programs doing well, winning early, and really hoping to keep this roll going for both teams.
Of course, like any sports, Seth, it's a grind. You got a long way to go until, mid-February, late February, until you get to the conference tournament.
Yeah, definitely a grind in any sport. And that's why you do it. You come to college, you love the sport you're playing, and it's a gift to be able to still be playing at this point in your life.
Spencer Brown driving to the basket, and he'll pick up the foul call.
Spencer Brown. Checking in for the Wolverines, number 5, George Cook.
Substitution in the game for Wesley with just 2:38 to go as Cook checks back in. Rebound for Cottle. Deshaun Cottle runs into a triple team. Gets the ball over to Caputo. Caputo over to Brown. Pass taken away by the Wolverines and taken right back by Brown. Battle for the loose ball. And it looks like the Wesley player stepped on the sideline, so the ball will go to the Knights with 2:12 to go. Looks like the Knights are going to slow down the pace a little bit, Seth, where they will not get that century mark, it doesn't look like. Still got 2:12 to go, but they've got 13 points left to cover.
Yeah, I think
Caputo will go to the foul line to shoot some foul shots.
Foul against the Wolverines, number 23, Christian Chaney. Shooting for the Knights, number 12, Brandon Caputo.
And Brandon gives the Knights their 88th point. Lead right now 30, 89-59. And we're down to 2 minutes to go in the basketball game. The foul is called on Derek Charles. That's his fourth.
And they're still kind of calling this game tight. I wish they would just kind of let them play and let this game finish out. But both teams still playing hard. You see Wesley still running that full court press, doing what they do.
There's a steal for the Wolverines. Bodies collide, and a jump shot is up and good by the Wolverines by Brandon Lewis. 89-61. Jaron Anderson trying to get it over to Caputo, trying to get it across the timeline in a hurry. Over to Canlin. Now Caputo to Anderson for the three, no good. Canlin with the rebound up and in. Bennett Canlin with the stick back. The sophomore from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, makes it 91-61. Knights will get called for the foul there with 1:06 to go.
Fouls against the Knights, number 5, Deshaun Cottle.
So Deshaun Cottle will pick up his first foul.
Christian Chaney.
Good chance to look ahead now, set to Wednesday's game against Mary Washington. Knights will be taking on a very talented team in Mary Washington, and it's a chance for the Knights to pick up another home win and try to hit that break, Christmas break, with a couple of conference wins so they can try to stay in the hunt for a Capital Conference postseason tournament berth.
Yeah, it's really important for that tournament. You want to pick up that win, get to 500, and not drop to 1-3 in conference play.
Mary Washington came into the action today with a 1-0 conference record and 5-1 overall. Spencer Brown down low, can't get the shot to go. 45 seconds and counting. Steal by the Knights. Jaron Anderson back the other way in a hurry. Works through traffic. See if the Knights try to take a little time off the clock here. 91-63. Caputo down low, and he scores.
Great finish by Caputo. Way to get himself in a good position. Even though he's the shorter guy on the court right now, he still got down low and finished strong.
6 foot, but As you mentioned, he was able to get good positioning down on the baseline. 93-63. And Brandon missing. He's got 4. 93-63, 23 seconds to go. Knights have the ball, 16 seconds to go. Wolverine still pressuring, down by 30. Anderson to Caputo. They'll run the clock down now. And that will do it. Knights with a 30-point victory. And Southern Virginia improves to 4-3 overall, and now 1-2 in the Capital Conference. Huge victory.
Yeah, after losing, we mentioned a couple of close games after such a such a hot start. Things could have gotten derailed pretty easy for them, but the team showed a lot of heart today and put the pedal to the metal, and it showed with a 30-point victory.
And 93-63 again is your final. And boy, when it comes to the numbers today, Seth, again, you can really spread it out. Knights shot the ball very well, especially in the first half from three-point range. Winslow had some threes. Jaron Anderson had some big three-pointers. And Tyler McCready had a really good game both in the first half and second half inside.
Yeah, McCready stepped up big when Thornton got into some early foul trouble. McCready came in, didn't miss a beat, had some strong three-point plays and some strong plays on the defensive end as well. And another notable performance, Jaron Anderson hitting all those threes. He had to have 5 or 6. We don't have the stats in front of us yet, but he was a nice surprise today, someone that you hope to lean on going forward.
Justin Prisby also had a big night. And it looks like for the post-game show, we've got Jaron Anderson joining us now.
How's it going, Jaron? Congratulations on a great performance. I don't have the stats in front of me, but you had to have had 5 or 6 threes, maybe more. But that was like the strongest game we've seen you play this season. What can you say about going into this game and what gave you those open looks?
Thank you very much. We had a game plan coming in. We needed to execute, and we had 2 really good practices past couple days, and all we were working on was executing our offense.
Sorry, no, you're okay. Take your time. As we get the stats in front of us here, I'll be able to tell you. You ended up with 20 points, and it says you had four threes here, which is incredible. Certainly gave you guys a huge spark. It was a 30-point victory. What can you say going forward? I know you guys lost a couple close ones that were kind of a bummer. Just got out of reach of the last 2 games. What was the mindset coming into this game? What was Coach Caputo preaching to you guys?
We had to win this game. It was our first home game in 6 games. Our first game was a home game, and we've been away for the past 5 or 6 games. And we knew we had to get a win. Coach Winslow's always telling us to step on the team's throat. We had to come out learning to win. And we did that. We stepped on their throat, and we weren't playing to lose. We were playing to win.
That's awesome. It definitely showed today. Especially you had a good lead after the first half, but it felt like you played even stronger in the second half, which is great to see. And lastly, before we let you go celebrate with your team, what can you say as you take on Mary Washington coming up on Wednesday? What are your thoughts going into that game?
All we're going to be working on is our defense. We got to come out, and that's where we win it, on defense. We need to learn to execute our offense, and if we do that, our shots will fall, but we win it on defense.
Awesome. Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Jaron Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, 20 points, made 4 3-pointers throughout the game, and was just a huge spark in that 30-point victory that the Knights completed here today.
And it really was a team effort. You look down the stat sheet, and as you mentioned, 20 points for Jaron Anderson, but Tyler McCready had 19 points. Aaron Rumbaugh, 11 points, and he also had 13 rebounds, 12 defensive rebounds.
Aaron Rumbaugh is one of those guys. He's just a scrappy player who just puts his head down, goes to work, and does all the dirty work for his team. You got to have guys like that on your team to be successful, and they've certainly found that in Aaron Rumbaugh this year.
You look at the stat sheet, what a rebounding edge the Knights had. They had 40-19 rebounding edge, 34 defensive rebounds, 34 out of 40.
I tell you what, if you're going to double the other team's rebounds, you're going to win a lot of games, especially in this conference. I mean, we talked about it from the beginning with Cale Thornton and McCready just outsizing everybody, but it really was more than just the size. It really was the heart. The whole team came together and really played strong today, determined. As you heard Jaron say, they had to get the win today. They knew that coming in, and it happened for them. Good
shooting percentages, too, as the Knights were 35 of 54 from the floor. They were 10 of 20 from three-point range. And, again, they had that big rebounding edge. We're now joined by Tony Caputo, the winning coach. And, Coach, we were talking about this. You guys had 2 tough road losses to Harrisburg and Marymount. How important was it to get this one today to really bounce back? Because you guys could have easily won either one of those road games.
First off, let me say that I had completely lost my voice after Wednesday night's game against Marymount. So my voice might go kind of in and out. And this is the best it's been since Wednesday night. But it was really important. You know, we started with a really exciting game at home, and then we had 5 straight games on the road. So that was tough. And, you know, we knew if we could get back home here where we're used to shooting and playing, although we've shot the ball well on the road, you know, what's hurt us on the road is just, you know, we're not getting to the free throw line and turn the ball over. But, you know, today we did get to the free throw line pretty evenly. Still turned the ball over more than I wanted, but that's a heck of a lot of pressure that team puts on. And every one of their guys just played their hearts out. And so that's tough. And when we weren't losing the ball, we were getting some great shots. And, I mean, we just shot the ball like crazy the whole game. What did we shoot? 64.8%.
Yeah.
You know, that's
6 three-pointers in the first half, too. So
Yeah. And then looks like 4 more in the second half.
Yep.
But can't say enough for 2 guys coming off the bench as far as scoring punts. Tyler McCready and Jaron Anderson both came in and just were huge, scoring the ball for us off the bench. And we had a lot of guys in foul trouble in that first half. And so we had 4 of our 5 starters with 2 fouls, and we don't like to play them with 2 fouls. So, you know, these other guys on the bench had to step up, and every guy that we brought off the bench the whole way throughout the whole entire game came in and did his part just like they do in practice every day.
Good to see Kellen Winslow hit from three-point range, too.
Yeah. Kellen's shot is, I think, really improved this year. He's just letting it go, and he plays a solid defense, does a lot of good things for us.
Aaron Rumball is very reliable. He had 13 rebounds today. And
wow.
One of the guys I think is one of the best all-around players you got out there, at least early on, is Prisby.
Oh, yeah, Prisby, he's tough, but once again, he was in foul trouble.
Yep.
But the thing that we keyed on as a coaching staff was we came out with a defensive game plan. We felt like we needed to win this game with defense, and I can't say enough about the job the entire coaching staff did setting up what we did defensively. We took 3 of the, top 5 or 6 scores in the conference and held them to 6, 7, and 2 points. These guys are averaging like 23, 19, and 16
Well,
or
we were
something
saying
like
in the
that,
pregame,
so.
J.W. Lawson's had some big games against you guys the last 2 years.
He's a nightmare matchup for us because he's so fast, and he's small, but he's so athletic and so competitive at the 4 spot.
He only got 2 tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I wish we could bottle this one and bring it back out the next time we played them, but I know it'll be a dogfight when we play there, in a couple of months.
Really quick to wrap things up, what do you look for Wednesday from the home game against Mary Washington on Wednesday?
Oh, well, they're really good. I mean, they got Eric Shaw, first-team all-conference player, and then they've got a new guy that's a freshman that scored 30-something the other night, so they're going to be a handful. They can really score the ball. We kind of played a slow-down game with them last year. I don't know that we'll look to do that. I think we'll come up here the next few days with a really good defensive game plan, again, hopefully like the one we came up with today, and throw it out there. And if the guys will follow it the way they did with this one, I think we'll be really competitive.
Okay, congratulations, Tony.
Thanks.
Big win for the Southern Virginia University Knights.
Thanks.
93-63 was the final once again, as the Knights had that 17-point halftime lead, and they just cruised in the second half. And as Tony mentioned, defense really was one of the keys today.
Yeah, and it definitely showed, and good defense generally leads to good offense here at Southern Virginia, and just from start to finish, they completely dominated this game. As Jaron mentioned, they got into halftime, and Coach Caputo was preaching to him to keep the pedal to the metal and kind of step on their throats, as he liked to put it, and they certainly did. They extended that lead, and it ended up as a 30-point victory. You got to have that killer instinct if you want to get victories here in the Capital Athletic Conference, and they're going to look to ride that momentum going into Wednesday night.
So again, join us for men's basketball Wednesday night. Southern Virginia hosting Mary Washington Wednesday here from the Knight Sports Arena. Congratulations once again to the women and the men. Southern Virginia University women winning the first game against Wesley, 82-75, and the Knights men's team victorious in the second game today, 93-63 over the Wesley Wolverines. That'll wrap things up here from the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan for Seth Hansen, Craig Reese, our director, and all of our fantastic production staff here at Southern Virginia University. Thanks again for joining us, everyone, for Knights basketball.